Hi guys, it's Nick from Kickin Goals, and in this video today I'm going to review my round 3 footy tips, and I'm also going to do my round 4 footy tips. So let's get underway. First of all, we're going to check and see who got the most tips for the week, and remarkably 6 people got 5 tips. So the 6 people are Sammy GFC, Carman22, Geordie Pluto, Cousin Dupree, Shildon and Graz all got 5 each. And at the moment, the person who's in the lead is Graz still. He's on 23 tips now, so Graz is doing a good job at the moment in the footy tipping. So now I'm going to review my last round's footy tips, and I got 4 out of 8. So the 4 tips I got right were Carlton, Fremantle, the Western Bulldogs and Geelong, and the tips I got wrong were Brisbane, St Kilda, Port Adelaide and Sydney. They're the ones I got wrong. So I got 4 out of 8, so half of them I got right and half of them I got wrong. But anyway, let's get on to the round 4 footy tips. So this week is Gather Round. As you all know, I went there last year and I'll be going there again. I'll be attending 6 to 7 games. I'm going to at least 6 games at the moment. I need to try and get one more ticket to one more game, and that's the North Melbourne v Brisbane game. If anyone has that ticket, message me on Instagram or Facebook. I'd be much appreciated. Thanks. So the first game of the week, and I'm going to, is Adelaide versus Melbourne at Adelaide Oval. Adelaide are coming off a loss against Fremantle, and Melbourne, they had a great win against Port Adelaide at Adelaide Oval. They won by 7 points. So Melbourne have got more momentum, I reckon, and they're having a better season. So I'm going to tip Melbourne to win by 15 points. So the next match is between the Lions and North Melbourne at Norwood Oval. Brisbane are coming off a loss against Collingwood at the Gabba. That's their second loss in a row at the Gabba. The first one was against us when we came back from 46 points down. And North Melbourne are coming off a 56-point loss to Carlton in the Good Friday match. So surely Brisbane here can finally get their first win, and I'm going to tip them to win by 58 points. The next match is between Port Adelaide and Essendon at the Adelaide Oval. I'll also be attending this game. Port Adelaide are coming off a disappointing loss against Melbourne by 7 points, and Essendon are coming off a remarkable win over St Kilda with Jake Stringer kicking the match-winning goal from 60 metres out. Can you believe it? And Nick Martin getting a career-high 44 disposals. Like, he's going to be a great player. It's only his 3rd year and he's looking really good, and he's already a star. Nick Martin, he had like 28 disposals up until half time. You know, I was watching that game with a mate, and I could see him touching the ball a fair bit. So I'm sure Port Adelaide will bounce back here easy. I'm going to tip Port Adelaide to win by 69 points. So now the next match is between West Coast and Sydney at the Adelaide Hills. West Coast are coming off a disappointing loss against the Western Bulldogs. They only kicked 3 goals for the whole entire game. Harley Reid has been a disappointing number 1 draft pick so far. He's only had 12 disposals in the game on the weekend. In Sydney, they had a disappointing loss against Richmond. They should have won. The last time these two teams played each other, Sydney absolutely demolished them, and they scored over 200 points, and that's the first time since 2011 that a team has scored over 200 points in a match. So I'm going to tip Sydney here to win by 158 points. They should bounce back really easy. Now, the most important match of the weekend is between Fremantle and Carlton at the Adelaide Oval. And I'm obviously going to be attending this game. Fremantle coming off a win over Adelaide, and Carlton are coming off an easy 56-point win over North Melbourne in a Good Friday match, with McKay and Curnow kicking 9 between them. You know, Harry McKay's having a good season with his goal kicking. With his accuracy, he's been improving a lot. And with Charlie Curnow, he kicked 4 goals as well. And with Elijah Hollands in his Carlton debut, he did really well with 22 disposals and a goal. So both teams are unbeaten, but I reckon since Carlton are the favourites and they need a win at Adelaide Oval, Carlton are going to tip them to win by 25 points. In the next game, and I'll be there as well, is between the Western Bulldogs and Geelong. Both teams were winners on the weekend, with the Bulldogs smashing the Eagles and Geelong having a good win over their arch rivals in Hawthorn on Easter Monday. They did it for Tom Hawkins in his 350th game. He kicked 4 goals. There's no signs of him slowing down anytime soon. It's a great way to celebrate his 350th game with a win and kicking 4 goals. So this is going to be a close game, I reckon, with Geelong should be going 4-0, and I'm going to tip them to win by 11 points in a close game. Bulldogs will put up a good fight as well. So the next match is between the Gold Coast Suns and GWS at the Adelaide Hills. I'll be going to this game. Both teams are coming off the bye. GWS are unbeaten with 3 wins. Gold Coast are 2-1 to start the season. So GWS should win this easy. They should go 4-0 for the first time in their history, and they should win by 78 points, I reckon. Now the second last match of the week is between Richmond and St Kilda at Norwood Oval. Richmond are coming off an impressive win against the Swans by 5 points, and St Kilda are after having a disappointing loss against Essendon. I'm hoping the Saints can bounce back, and I'm going to tip them to win by 4 points. Now the final match of Gather Round for this year is going to be between Collingwood and Hawthorn, and I'll be going to this game as well. Collingwood had a comfortable win over Brisbane for their first win for the year, and Hawthorn, well, they didn't do their best against Geelong in the Easter Monday clash, but they did show some promising signs, but it wasn't enough. So Collingwood should win this easy. They should go 2 in a row, and I'm going to tip them to win by 20 points. Hawthorn will put up a good fight, I reckon.
And the video starts now.
All right, everyone. This week's special guest, you might know him from the AFL community. His name is Zay Burnell.
G'day, Nick. How's it going, mate?
Yeah, I'm good, thanks, Zay. How are you going?
Not too bad, thank you. Thanks for having me on, man. I very much appreciate it.
Yeah, it's good to have you on as well. I'm
Thank you.
looking forward to asking you some questions. So
Yeah.
So we might as well get into it, eh? How is your YouTube channel going? Like, are you kicking any goals?
Can't remember the last time I kicked a goal. I mean, I used to play school football when I was younger. It's probably the last time I kicked a goal, actually.
Yeah.
But if people want me to kick a goal in my local football ground, I'm more than happy to. Maybe at Gather Round I might kick some.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
The last time you kicked a goal, Nick?
Not too sure, to be honest, to tell you the truth there, Mr. Burnell.
Fair enough.
How many subscribers do you have now?
On my YouTube channel, I have over two. Sorry, I got over 20,000 subscribers. It was because I used to make other content back then. I used to make Five Nights at Freddy's videos. However, then I didn't want to make them anymore because I grew out the game and
Yeah, fair enough.
And the videos I was making, I was pretty much, sorry, the videos I was making, I was usually pretty much using other people's images, videos and all that, and didn't really felt right in the end and all that. And I used to make my own FNAF. Yeah, I used to make my own FNAF. I guess it's a show or comic, whatever, but I also removed that as well. I decided to delete the videos and kind of social media, and I decided to reset my career doing stuff on Instagram, and then it got a decent amount. I got quite a few followings. Marmalade follows me, Cardman, and other people and all that. Got a bit of respect for my Instagram, and I thought, you know what, might as well go to the TikTok trend, and I'm going pretty well on TikTok as well, which I'm happy about, and started to upload videos on YouTube again, only the ones that I feel comfortable uploading. Yeah, so I decided to reset my career just doing Instagram and TikToks and getting good positive feedback as well, which is nice.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
Yeah.
For the record, why do you call chicken parma palmy?
All right, interview's over next. See you later.
Come on, mate.
I'll answer the question. Apparently, for you Victorians, apparently you guys decided to call it Parma and then Ghana. How many A's is in the actual word? I think there's 3 A's. Where's the 4th A, Nick? It's Parmigiana. Parmigiana. Like, I don't call spaghetti spaghettis or coffee coffees. So I don't call you, Nick, Nike. So I might as well do that if you're going to keep calling chicken parmigiana Parma.
But it is Parma. It is Parma,
though. One day, us South Australians, I'm going to make you Victorians learn a lesson.
All right. Anyway,
I knew you were going to ask me that question. By the way,
I had to.
Of course, you had to, mate.
Anyway, last week on Kicking Goals, we had a good old time chatting with Sammy GFC. I believe you put him in charge of the bow and arrow tradition. Can you explain what the bow and arrow tradition actually is?
Well, Adelaide used to have a former player named Xavier Dersma. He was pretty decent for us, actually. I didn't mind him. I had all my Guernseys number 7 just for him, which is not true. But I understood him because being under 7 when I used to play football, and also Russell Weaver as well, great player, late legend, rest in peace to you. At every goal celebration Xavier Dersma kicks, he does that traditional bow and arrow celebration.
Yeah.
And there was one photo that he did it, and I was in the background celebrating with the prison bars on, which was pretty sick. I actually like doing that background. And then when I heard the news that he got traded to Essendon, I got very upset about it because I actually still like him as a player. Playerwade got Braden Thatcher from that trade, and I think also, can't remember what else we got. Oh yeah, we traded Essendon a draft pick as well. And when Sammy came to Adelaide to visit me and also watch the A-League, we went to Nord Oval, watched Crosby Moore, the women's game, And because Sammy's an Essendon supporter, I decided, you know what, I might as well give Sammy the bow and arrow for the behalf, as he's behalf of the Essendon Football Club and on behalf of the Port Adelaide. Give the tradition, the bow and arrow tradition, to the Essendon Football Club, so that way it moves forward. And then on Saturday against St Kilda, David Dersma finally did the bow and arrow goal celebration as an Essendon player. So the tradition is still alive thanks to me giving the bow and arrow to Sammy GFC.
Yeah, as you say, Xavier Dersma.
Duraz. What did I used to say? David Deruz. Oh yeah. But I'm saying it right now. It took me 6 years to get his bloody name right.
That long.
Yeah.
Why do you always want me to support the South Australian sports teams for?
Well, you told me, Nick, that one day that you were going to move to Adelaide.
Yeah.
If you want to become an Adelaidean, mate, become a true South Australian, you would have to support at least maybe 5 to 6 South Australian teams.
Oh.
One of the teams I wanted you to support for the LA 36ers. And the other team was LA United. The reason why I really wanted you to become a Port fan, but the reason why I didn't ask you many a times just because we got a lot of Carlton supporters in Adelaide anyway, and there is a good Carlton community in South Australia. So one of the reasons why I didn't try my best to shift you to become a Port fan, but wanted you to become a 36ers fan, LA United fan. I even tried to make you become a LA Thunderbirds fan, but you didn't want to change teams for some weird reason, just because you want to stick to one team, and that's it.
Yeah, well, if I change sports teams, that means I'm not a true sports fan then. It makes me become a bandwagoner.
You become a bandwagon in the beginning, but once you get into the 36ers, mate, you'll no longer be a bandwagon. You'll become a true sports fan because you're a true basketball team, and also United in the final. How did you guys go against the Jack Jumpers?
Oh, shut up. That was clear match fixing.
What are you, Footy?
Don't get me started on Studi.
So you say it's match fixing every time Boston loses, or whatever team you go for loses.
Well, it is,
even said it was match you even said it was match fixed when Carlton lost to Freeland, and it was Carlton's fault that they weren't the stronger team that day. I mean, you still should be proud they made it that far, at least.
I was proud that we made it that far. We made it further than Port Adelaide.
Hopefully not this year, mate. Hopefully not this year.
Well, we're 3-0, and you are 2-1, so we're better than you still.
What's Carlton Blues' record at Adelaide Oval, by the way? Have you guys won a game at Adelaide Oval yet?
Not yet, but hopefully next week we can change all that against Fremantle. And try and make it 4-0 to start the season. Hopefully.
We'll just have to wait and see, Nick. Have to wait and see.
Yeah. All right. Next question. Do you often go to interstate games, or is it just the Carlton matches?
Because last year I didn't go watch Carlton play.
Well, because
last year was. So you go first.
Because you knew that Carlton were going to smash you by 50 points last year.
There was one game that I had a bad experience watching a Carlton game on TV, but not talk about that.
Yes, we do.
Well, let's talk about the question. Let's talk about the question you asked me. So last year was the first. Last year was the first time I actually went to interstate games. I always wanted to do that. I always wanted to go to the MCG. Always wanted to go to Marvel. And I also went to G3 last year, which was alright, but us losing. It was still good to watch Adelaide play at Geelong. Um, Maybe this year I could go to the Port and Carlton game I want to, but I might. Sorry, Nick, I might save up more to watch the Port and St Kilda match at Marvel instead. But I don't mind the Carlton fans. Better than Collingwood. Round 6, I am going back to the MCG to watch Port and Collingwood. I might have my prison bars if I survive. But yeah, last year was the first time I went to the interstate games. My favourite game I've probably been to ever was probably the Port and Essendon at the MCG where Danny kicked the goal after the siren. Probably the best night of my life, that one. And it happened at the MCG as well.
Yeah,
hopefully something similar happens again this year.
That was unbelievable, that Dan Houston kick.
Yeah. And I messaged Sammy right after the game. He was crying. He was so glad he was at the Gold Coast instead.
Oh, yeah, like he was with a bit of footy in the Gold Coast when that happened.
Yeah, he was actually. Yeah,
you were with Cardi and UCAT at the MCG.
Yeah, I was actually. It was I get to experience the game live with Cardi and UCAT as well, which was absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
It was good to share the experience with them.
Yeah. So now, how long have you been a Port Adelaide Crows supporter?
Can you repeat the question, please?
Okay.
Can you repeat that?
Yeah. How long have you been a Port Adelaide Crows supporter?
First of all, we haven't merged, and hopefully we don't merge ever. I don't even know if I would support the club or not. The thing what you meant to say next is how long have I been a Port fan for? So, since I was born pretty much, about a couple of hours when I was born, my dad went straight to the Alberton Football Club and hooked me up to be the youngest Port Adelaide member ever. It was 2008 when I got into Port Adelaide. I did watch the 07 Grand Final live. I was a bit too young to understand what the hell happened. And then a couple of years later when I rewatched the Grand Final, I was like, right, was the Grand Final that bad? But yeah, 2008 was the year that I truly got into Port. The year that I went to footy games as well.
Yeah.
My dad taught me very well because he was the one that got me into Port Adelaide. He was the one that got me into an anti-Crow supporter as well. So yeah, he taught me very well, and I appreciate him for doing that. And I make the right decision as well.
Fair enough. Apart from Carlton, who do you think might win this year's flag?
I was going to say Collingwood. They lost 2 games in a row. They did beat in Brisbane last Thursday.
Yeah.
I was going to say Carlton, but you said this rather than Carlton. I'm gonna. If Collingwood doesn't improve, they are a premiership side again. I just could say Carlton, to be honest, because they have been improving a lot, and I did pick them as my runners up for this year's grand final. So if not Collingwood, then Carlton, pretty much.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, I just can't think of anyone else to think of. I know Frio's having a good season so far. I could say a biased pick and say Port, but lost to Melbourne. I mean, it was a good game though, despite us losing. But
Yeah, like
yeah, but
it was
so far, I reckon Cotton.
yeah, it was a good win by Melbourne in the end.
Yeah, and despite the umpires being on their side, it was still a good win for Melbourne.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So your team Port finished third last year on the ladder. What are you expecting from them this year?
Well, we got a lot of new recruits, and a couple of young players as well from the draft that we surprisingly managed to pick up. I'm still shocked that Ken Hinkley's still our coach, but we got Josh Carr as our assistant coach. Josh Carr won the 2018 Stanford Premiership, I believe, when he was the head coach of the North Valley Roosters.
Yep.
I reckon. Hopefully we keep it up because if we can play a close game like Melbourne, I reckon we could be another top 4 contender. One of the things that we probably might need to improve on the most is our goal kicking. It's just hasn't been improved at all. There's a couple of times where Jeremy Finlayson was like set shots of goal right in front and then shanked it to the left, and same with Todd Marshall and Charlie Dixon. I'm surprised Charlie Dixon's still playing well.
Yeah.
There's a couple of players that has been kicking consistently well, like Darcy Burn-Jones, Willie Rioli and all that, but I reckon one of the things is that goal kicking is something we need to improve on.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
For your sake, hopefully they can improve on their accuracy and try and win more games when they can.
Yeah, because around 1 against West Coast, we had the most amount of behinds ever in our career, AFL career, and you could just tell that it was just our consistent goal kicking. It's just just pretty much lacking.
Yeah.
And against Melbourne the other night, I can't remember how many behinds we kicked, but we could have won the game if we kept kicking more goals because Melbourne only had 6 or 7 behinds, if not maybe a bit less, and they still managed to beat us. So
yeah.
Probably, once again, probably our goal kicking, I reckon.
Yeah. All right. Why do you hate the character Daisy so much in Mario games?
I'm not going to say in a sentence. I'm just going to say it in her character, right? Hi, I'm Daisy. Hi, I'm Daisy. Hi, I'm Daisy. You have to say your name about 5 times. You know what your name is. Seriously.
You didn't expect that question to come out, didn't you?
No, I actually didn't. Also, how's your record here, by the way, against me?
Sorry?
What's your record against me in Mario Party, by the way?
Oh, shut up. The Nintendo Switch always gives the wins to you.
Because I'm better than you, Nick. I always beat you in Mario Kart, beat you in Mario Party. We still need to play another Nintendo Switch game together somehow one day.
Yeah, like there's millions of games out there.
Yeah.
All right, last question before we wrap things up. Apart from Patrick Cripps, who do you consider to be the best AFL player ever? So it could be current day players, or it could be former players that used to play.
To be honest, I have to go to the obvious pick and go Gary Ablett Jr. I know Cardman and in the first interview that he did. But he is right. I reckon Gary Ablett
Yeah.
Jr. is probably the greatest player ever in the AFL.
Yeah.
No one can be like him. Like the closest person I could probably think of, maybe, upcoming, maybe Nick Dacos if he proves a little bit more. But I reckon Gary Ablett Jr. definitely greatest.
Yeah.
And I could say Port Adelaide's greatest, Gavin Wanganeen, I reckon.
Yeah. Wayne
Gavin
Wanganeen.
Wanganeen, Port Adelaide Power's their best player.
Yeah. I had
great lad as well.
I had a feeling that you were going to say Ablett Jr.
Yeah.
What my all-time favourite was Buddy Franklin.
Yeah. Good old buddy, eh?
Yeah, the 1,000 goal man.
Man, that was so unbelievable. I watched it on TV.
Yeah, same.
It's probably the most craziest thing. Probably the most craziest thing I've ever seen ever on an AFL field. The second greatest thing was Stray kicking his first goal in the Dip 12 Razzies, and I was one of those people that ran on the field and I bloody fell over. People were stepping on me and all that. I think I had a couple of bruises.
How embarrassing that would have been.
I was embarrassed. I lost my hat, but thank God someone found it for me.
Yeah.
Because I was on the floor, I recorded everything, and one thing I had my phone on my hand. I was like, I have to hold my phone very tightly. It was a great night. I know Live 12 lost and all that, but it was still a great night. Everyone had fun. I have Checkers' football boot on the shelf over there.
Yeah.
And same boot that had my first ever Coffee Eagle shoey in as well.
Yeah. All right. Is there anything you want to add before we wrap things up?
There's one thing. When are you going to become a 36ers fan?
I knew you were going to say that, Zay. Seriously.
Well, you said, you asked me what you want me to say, so...
Yeah, but not that.
It's a good question. When are you going to become a 36ers fan? Melbourne United lost the grand final, and things about time for you switching teams up if you want to become a future Adelaidean. I mean, you're wearing your Striker shirt, which I respect.
Yeah. I knew you were going to ask me that question.
No, you shouldn't have said anything in the end, mate.
Well, anyway, thank you for coming on, Zay. It's good to have you on the channel.
Yeah, no worries, Nick, and thank you so much for having me, man. It's a huge pleasure.
Yeah.
So that's all for this video, guys. Please like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next video. See you guys.